Hello everyone, myself Hazrat, faculty at ACE Engineering Academy. These are my few credentials. In this video, we are going to discuss detailed solutions of theory of machines questions given in GATE 2021 Mechanical forenoon session. Please observe carefully guys. There are 5 questions came from theory of machines, and I proudly say that you can answer all the questions easily with the help of our ACE Academy classroom notes or with the help of our Deep Learn online videos, guys. Are you getting an answer? Now we will go through the first question. That is, he has given a Whitworth quick return mechanism. Observe carefully. You please go through the entire problem. I'm just explaining what he has given. Okay, in the layman's language, guys. Observe carefully. He has given a Whitworth quick return mechanism. He's asking us to find out what is the quick return ratio equal to how much. Are you getting an answer? Observe carefully. He has given the lengths of the various links and all. And straightforward, observe carefully guys, straightforward answer is QRR equal to 180 plus 2 alpha by 180 minus 2 alpha. To find out the alpha guys, we should know what are the extreme positions of the crank. If you observe guys, extreme position, this crank is exactly at this location, you will be having extreme position. So I can arrange the given configuration, observe carefully guys, like this. This is one extreme position, okay, and this is another extreme position. Okay guys, so I can simply say that this is my cutting stroke and this is my return stroke, because what is the mean by QRR? QRR means time taken for cutting stroke by time taken for return stroke. So cutting stroke time by return stroke time. What is the significance of this one guys? Please tell me. Because you know that in planar and shaper mechanism, your forward stroke is working stroke. This is the place where it cut the workpiece. But return stroke is the ideal stroke. So why I have to minimize that idle time actually? That is the reason forward it goes slowly. In return stroke, it comes very quickly, guys. So for that, I have designed a mechanism that is a quick return mechanism actually. He's asking what is the quick return ratio, and here this is the alpha, guys. As this is the alpha, now tell me, guys, this is also alpha. Now tell me, guys, what is the cutting stroke? This is the cutting stroke equal to 180 plus 2 alpha by return stroke is 180 minus 2 alpha. This is the return stroke, I can say. Are you getting an answer? Now tell me, how can you get these values? Observe carefully, guys. Observe carefully. This is the AO. AO is what? How much is given, guys? 150. And OP, how much is given? OP, guys? 300. They have given this is 150. They given this is 300. I can make it AO and OP. AO and OP. Now tell me, how can you get the alpha, guys? This is also alpha. Now tell me, sin alpha. Sin alpha equal to how much, guys? 150 by 300. Nothing but 1 by 2. Now tell me, guys, how much is angle of alpha? 30 degrees. Once I know angle of alpha, QRR equal to how much, guys? Tell me, sir. Equal to 180 plus 60. 180 plus 60 by 180 minus 60, you will get 2 is the answer. But the question is, sir, I don't know exactly how is extreme position. I can't able to imagine the extreme position. Then how do you find out the alpha? For that also, we have given the solution. What the solution is, this is a stand form you have to remember. And alpha equal to, observe carefully guys, sin alpha equal to, remember like this, sin alpha equal to, Observe carefully, guys. It is a fixed link length. Fixed link length by crank radius. By crank radius. That's it. This is the one you have to remember. If you can visualize how is extreme portion, you can get it. Otherwise, just make it sin alpha equal to fixed link length. How much, guys? 150 by crank radius is 300. With this, I'm getting answer is how much? 2. So answer is how much, guys, here? 2. That's it. Clear? Okay, guys. Coming to the next question. He has given a typical spring mass damper system, and he has given that the amplitude of free vibration response reduces from 8 to 1.5 mm in 3 cycles. Now tell me, guys, which means that if I give some initial displacement, and this displacement is reducing over time, so definitely, guys, this is a underdamped system. It is a underdamped system, and has clearly mentioned that amplitude is reducing from 8 to 1.5 in 3 cycles. Okay, then the question is, what is the damping ratio? J equal to how much? How much is the damping ratio? Okay, guys, observe carefully. Has given the pretty much clue that assume it is a response of a underdamped system, and he has given that x naught by, look at here carefully, x naught by x3. X naught is how much is given, guys? 8. X3 is 1.5. 8 by 1.5. But observe carefully. There is a one beauty about underdamped system is the ratio of two successive amplitudes will be remains constant, which means that x naught by x1, observe carefully, sir, x naught by x1 that equal to x1 by x2 that equal to how much, guys? This is a standard formula, sir. That is e power 2 pi j by square root of 1 minus j square. Okay. Now tell me, guys, I can make it like this. X naught by x3. X naught by x3 equal to how much, sir? Please tell me. X naught by x1 multiplied by, tell me, sir, x1 by x2 multiplied by x2 by x3. Okay, next, that equal to how much, guys? 8 by 1.5. Now tell me, x naught by x1 equal to x1 by x2 equal to x2 by x3. So what I can make it, guys? Finally, x naught by x1, x naught by x1 whole cube, that equal to how much, guys? Please tell me. That equal to 8 by 1.5. That's it. Okay, but we know that x naught by x1 equal how much? E power 2 pi j. So e power 2 pi j by square root of 1 minus j square whole cube. That equal to how much, guys? 8 by 1.5. Are you getting an answer? Now tell me, guys, you're going to get like this. E power 6 pi j by square root of 1 minus j square, that equal to 8 by 1.5. Take logarithm, guys. So we'll get logarithm of 8 by 1.5. Okay, 8 by 1.5. This side how much I'm going to get, guys? 6 pi j by square root of 1 minus j square. Okay, for if you simply solve like this, guys, you will be getting j equal to 0.0884. That's it. But I will tell you simple way, guys. Instead of making this square root of 1 minus j square, you can ignore this value, sir. Why? Because square root of 1 minus of 0.0884 whole square. What is going to happen, guys? In front of 1, this value is negligible. So I can simply say that square root of 1 minus chi square equal to how much I can able to make it, guys? 1. Even if you consider, you will get the same answer. Even if you don't consider, you will get the same answer. So why to complicate the things? So I can just ignore this one. Chi equal to how much, guys? 1 by 6 pi. Now it's a pretty simple now. Chi equal to 1 by 6 pi log natural of 8 by 1.5. You will get the same answer. Hope this is clear, guys. Next, coming to the next question. He has given a heavy propeller shaft. They given the ship. The ship is driven by a propeller shaft, and has given everything, guys. What is the moment of inertia and everything is given. The propeller is rotating at 12 radians per second. Propeller is rotating at how much, guys? 12 radians per second. And the waves acting on the ship, because of the waves, what is going to happen exactly, guys? Your ship is under rolling condition like this. Your ship is under rolling condition. And the question is asking is, what is the gyroscopic moment generated? The answer is 0. But the question is, why? Simple reason, guys. Observe carefully, guys. To have a gyroscopic moment, there should be spin should be rotated. The spin should be moved. Observe carefully, guys. Look at here carefully. Here, the spin axis. This is the axis of the spin, and this is also rolling axis will be also same point exactly, guys. I can simply able to say, guys, the axis of the rolling of the ship, the axis of the rolling of the ship and the axis of the spin are parallel. So definitely, guys, what is the gyroscopic couple? That equal to I omega p. Where is this precision is coming? So definitely, guys, as there is no precision of axis of the spin, your spin is not moving like this. It is just rotating. Observe carefully. When I will get the gyroscopic couple, guys, your spin is rotating. There is something motion is like this. If the ship is moving like this, or get it left and right, then there will be having a gyroscopic couple. But the ship is rolling actually. This special case we discussed in detail in the classroom also, guys. If you just go through my notes, you will definitely answer within a fraction of seconds actually, guys. Here answer is 0 because omega p is 0. There is no precision, I can say. Hope this is clear, guys. Okay, guys, coming to the next question. This may seems to be lengthy, but don't get scared just by seeing the length of the problem, guys. So very easy. He is indirectly asking what is the natural frequency of a system. Are you getting answer? Let's go through the problem. Observe carefully, guys. They have given a rocker which is rotates about the point B. But how rocker get the motion, guys? Here I am having a cam. When cam rotates, what is going to happen? It pushes the push rod. Because it pushes the push rod, your rocker just rotates about this point B, and at point C, what is going to happen? It is pushing the valve actually, guys. It is pushing the valve against a spring. But the question he is asking, with what speed I have to rotate a cam? With what speed I have to rotate a cam so that I will get the resonance? Don't worry about this resonance word, guys. When I will get the resonance, guys, whenever speed, exciting frequency matched with the natural frequency of a system, then resonance occurs. What he is doing is, instead of directly asking find out the natural frequency, he has given something random system like this. He is asking with what speed I have to rotate the cam so that I will get the resonance. I will get the resonance amplitude actually, guys. So ultimately I have to find out natural frequency of a system. How can I find out, guys? You can remove at this time. Whenever you are finding natural frequency, you can remove this cam. You can make a system alone. Observe carefully how I am making a system, guys. This is fixed. This is the rocker. Rotate about this point, guys. Okay, rotate about this point. And sorry guys, this should be spring. This should be spring. Here also I am having a spring. This is the K1, this is the K2. Okay, assume this is the A, this is the B. How do you find out natural frequency, guys? Just rotate about this point O. Whenever you want to find out natural frequency, just displace from its equilibrium position. When you displace and then release, what is going to happen? Your rocker will try to move like this. Is indirectly asking what is the natural frequency of the system. So observe carefully, guys. I just displace it like this. I just displaced like this. Okay, guys. Assume this angle is theta. This angle is theta. Okay. Now tell me, guys. So draw the free body diagram. If you draw the free body diagram, when I try to displace, how is inertia force? Assume I am moving like this. If I move like this, inertia force will be opposite to acceleration. This is the theta. This is direction of theta double dot also. Okay. How is inertia force, guys? Opposite to acceleration. This is the opposite to acceleration. How much? I theta double dot. Okay. Next, tell me, guys. When I try to move up, the spring force will try to push it down. How much is the spring force? K1 multiplied by how much, guys? How much by K1 into distance? How much? This distance is equal to how much? This is A, this is theta. This should be how much? A theta. Okay. Now, this side you are pushing K2. When you try to push K2, your spring force will be acting upward direction. How much is this value, guys? Please tell me. Spring force K2, assume this is the B, this is theta, distance equal how much, guys? B theta. That's it, I got the free body diagram. Now find out, guys. Take moment about this point. Take moment about this point MO equal to how much? 0. Substitute now, sir. I theta double dot plus, tell me, sir, force into distance, right? You are taking moment about this point means K1 A theta multiplied by A, which means that K1 A square theta plus, tell me, guys, it is same direction, K2 B square theta equal to how much? 0. Now substitute, guys. I can get I into theta double dot plus, tell me, sir, K1 A square plus K2 B square multiplied by, sorry guys, multiplied by theta equal to how much? 0. Okay. Now observe carefully. Now tell me, guys, stand form of the equation, that is K1 A square plus K2 B square by I into theta equal to 0. Now tell me, guys, what is the standard equation of motion for this? Theta double dot plus omega n square into theta equal to 0. Now tell me, guys, omega n equal to how much? Square root of K1 A square plus K2 B square by I. Now substitute the values, guys. I want K1, K2 and I. Please go through the problem now. Observe. He has given A 3.5, B 2.5. Yes or no? Write down, guys. A equal to 3.5 centimeters into 10 power minus 2 meters. That's it. B. How much is given, guys? B 2.5. So B equal to 2.5 again 10 power minus 2 meters. You substitute here. Next, K1, K2 into I. Again same value as given. What is the value of I? 10 power minus 4 kg meter square. 10 power minus 4 is given. And what is the value of K1? K1 is 15, K2 is 10. That's it. Observe carefully, guys. So I equal to how much is given? 10 power minus 4 and K1. Observe carefully guys. K1 is 15 Newton per mm. I want how much? Newton per meter I want. So I can say K1 15 Newton per mm means how much guys? 15 into 10 cube Newton per meter. That's it. K2 equal to how much guys? 10 into 10 cube Newton per meter. You substitute all these values guys, you will get omega n equal to 496.235. But this is not what he is asking. What he is asking guys, he want in terms of RPM. This is the place most of the students commit a mistake. But I got omega n in terms of radian per second. Radians per second. I want in terms of RPM. So that equal to how much guys? You know that omega equal to how much? 2 pi n by 60. Now tell me guys, n equal to how much? 60 into 496.235 by 2 pi. You will get approximately guys 4738.7 RPM. So definitely guys 4739 is the correct answer here. Hope this is clear for you guys. So pretty much simple. Only thing is you need to find out the natural frequency first. If you know this value, if you can get this value, it's very easy. And second thing is don't commit a mistake in making the units in a single form actually guys. Just to confuse you only, they given A and B in terms of centimeters. Observe carefully guys how carefully they are giving the units. So maintain all the units in a single format, whether it is a mm, whether it is a meter, please maintain the same thing. You will get the corresponding answer actually guys. Okay, next. Coming to the next question. Consider a reciprocating engine with a crank radius r. With a crank radius r and connecting rod length L. Okay, then the secondary unbalanced force for this case is equal to the primary unbalanced force due to a vertical crank off. In general guys, observe carefully. The primary force equal to, this is stand format guys, we discussed already. mr omega square cos theta. Okay, next. Secondary force that equal to mr, same thing, omega square cos 2 theta by n. This is secondary force. But what he want is, he want to have a equivalent primary force with what is the crank length, what is the virtual crank length, and what is the virtual crank speed actually guys. So I can simply say that PS, I want only magnitude guys. If you take magnitude, because this is the only way we can able to measure. When theta equal to 0, what is going to happen? Cos theta equal to 1 and cos theta also will become 1. Only magnitude I am considering actually guys. Now tell me PS magnitude how much? Or PS max? mr omega square by n must be equal to, observe carefully guys, m, I want virtual crank radius equal to how much? And what is the virtual crank speed? If it is a primary force, his intention is to find out R1 and omega 1 equal to how much? M getting cancelled. But you know that n equal to how much guys? L by R. Yes or no? Now substitute guys. N equal to L by R means R square L by omega square, that equal to R1 into omega 1 square. Now substitute. So how much should be my crank radius? How much should be my velocity? For this he has given the clue guys. The clue he has given is the radius is L square by 4R. Observe carefully guys. Your radius is coming in terms of what? L square R square by L. So R square by 4L format I want. Observe carefully. So if you make it R square by 4L into 4 omega square, that equal to R1 omega 1 square. Now tell me guys, virtual crank radius how much? R1 equal to how much? R square by 4L, and speed omega 1 square equal to how much, guys? 4 omega square. So which means that omega 1 equal to how much, guys? 2 omega. That's it. Observe carefully, guys. So radius r square by 4L, rotating at twice of the engine speed. Twice of the engine speed. So option B is the correct answer. Hope this is clear, guys. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you and all the best, guys.